Hello, I'm Annette Young and welcome to the 51%, a show about women reshaping our world. Coming up, as Colombia reels from a referendum that rejected a peace deal to end the civil war, a timely reminder of the women who've suffered during the half-century conflict. We also meet the girl surfers of Bangladesh, a country better known for its high rate of child marriage. Plus the tales of the Mohawk Girls, the Canadian TV series about 4 indigenous women that's become a major hit. But we begin in Colombia, that's still reeling from a referendum vote which narrowly rejected a peace agreement aimed at ending more than 5 decades of armed conflict. Regardless of the defeat, both sides have declared they will continue to negotiate. Yet there was much hope a yes vote would have helped to bring closure to the millions of Colombian women who have suffered as a direct result of the civil war. These are some of their tales as told by Marian Saab.
January 2008, Clara Rojas emerges from the Colombian jungle, free from the FARC stronghold after being held for 6 years as a political hostage. The Colombian lawyer was managing the campaign for presidential candidate Ingrid Betancourt in 2002, when both women were kidnapped by rebels. During her time in captivity, she almost died giving birth to a son conceived in a consensual relationship with one of her guards.
It's an experience that I wouldn't wish on our worst enemies. That's what hurt me the most at the time. Despite numerous other things, it was isolation. The fact that from one moment to another, you're alone in your capacity to exist, to decide, to think, to communicate.
Around 260,000 people have died in the battle between the rebels and the Colombian authorities. Others have slipped through the cracks of the conflict. Mary Johanna went missing on October 7, 2007. Her mother has not heard from her since. But every year she buys her missing daughter a Christmas present.
We have all the hope that the moment will come to know finally, with certainty, what happened to her. Because that's what we're waiting for above all. If they're living, if they'll ever come back, at least we will know.
Mary Johanna is just one of an estimated 45,000 missing people from the past half-century of armed conflict. There are also over 6.9 million others who've been displaced, like Yomaira Sanchez. She has been forced to flee her home twice. The first time, rebel soldiers advised her to go because her husband was a soldier. The second time, she was accused of being a spy and forced to leave by FARC soldiers.
The most difficult part is to leave everything and go somewhere else to start a new life, to restart, to pick up your belongings and go somewhere where you have to organize everything, to have to ask for somewhere for your children to sleep. Sometimes it can be really difficult.
Peace deals may be currently under discussion, but those affected by Colombia's painful civil war continue to carry its consequences.
Moving on, and Bangladesh is not an obvious destination when it comes to surfing, yet for a group of local girls aged between 11 to 13, they've taken to riding the waves. This despite the lack of parental approval and in a country where most girls of their age are being married off. We went to meet some of these extraordinary young women.
Cox's Bazar is the most popular beach in Bangladesh, but it's located in a region that's very traditional. Most bathers are men. The few women inside have their headscarves on. There is an exception, a group of boys and girls learning to surf together. The initiative was this lifeguard's idea, a revolution in the region.
This is Jahanara. She's 11 years old. She used to compete and still she's a really good talented student now.
These girls don't go to school. Their families sent them to the beach so they could earn money begging or selling eggs and water. Lifeguard Rashid wanted to help. He convinced them to join his surfing course. Since then, both he and the girls have been facing constant criticism from rigorous bathers, even though the girls don't wear swimsuits, but leggings, shorts, and shirts.
This type of activity isn't good for girls. Women's bodies are not meant for surfing.
I would never authorize my daughter to do this, walk around on the beach with these wet clothes. It's totally unacceptable.
It's bad for our country. They're acting like foreign women. Us Muslims, we need to cover our bodies properly.
They're not the only ones criticizing the girls. Their families were furious after learning about the surfing.
At first, my mother didn't know that I surfed. Some people told her, and one day when I came out of the water, I saw her. She took a beach umbrella and started hitting me. My mother insulted our trainer Rashid, but he convinced her to let me surf. If a man can play cricket or football, I think a woman can do so too. A girl can do whatever a boy can do.
I was selling eggs on the beach, and one day I asked my mum if I could learn how to surf. She beat me, but I returned to the beach. I know I'm not doing anything wrong.
Rashid Halam is angered by the way girls are treated. He's been trying to change things with his school. Surfing may be a hobby, but it has changed these girls' lives. The school also provides English lessons.
They have freedom, they have life. What they want for in their life, they're exactly doing same thing. Like they're happy. Look at the happy face in their eye, in their mind. Because of this example, we can change other girls' minds in Bangladesh.
Recruiting girls is just the first challenge. The most difficult part is to keep them in the team after they turn 11. That's when some of the students disappear because their families say they're too old to leave the house. Like Shabi Marja. She hasn't come to the beach in 2 months. Rashid visits the girls' home. Shaba is 13. She'll probably never surf again, although she misses riding the waves. Rashid can't help her.
With that kind of family, if you grow up, like there's no future of the girls, especially the girls. They're like they're in like one kind of jail, I can say. They're controlling by everything. They're not allowed to breathe outside.
It's not fair. They say we can't surf, but elsewhere around the world, women can do anything they want. Why can't we do what we want in Bangladesh? Why am I not allowed to do what I want? We can't do anything.
Rashid and those who work with him hope to give the girls respect, self-confidence, and an education. There is another goal, pushing the girls' marriage as far as possible. In Bangladesh, 2/3 of girls are forced to get married before they turn 18, although officially, that's illegal.
And finally now, let me introduce you to the Mohawk Girls. The TV show has been described as Canada's Sex and the City, except it's set in its indigenous community. The series is now entering its 4th season, and its creators say they've developed it in the hope of ending prejudice. Pierre Mier has more.
4 modern women and their lives in a Quebec reservation. For the past 3 years, Mohawk Girls has humorously talked about the daily lives of First Nations people.
How are we supposed to rebuild the Mohawk Nation if all the guys around here are cousins?
In this studio in Montreal, the editing of the 4th season is almost over. Today, they are focused on one scene in particular, the character of Anna.
She grew up in Manhattan. She didn't grow up on the res, and so when she comes home to the res, she is an outsider, and she's ostracized.
What's wrong with you people? You guys are like a colony of clones.
For the duo who created Mohawk Girls, their goal is to address contemporary issues of First Nations people.
Tracy is Mohawk, I am Jewish, and everything in the show, we make sure that both of our perspectives and our backgrounds and we can relate to it, that like dating outside your group, and if you do is it just kind of following your heart, or is it going to lead to the disintegration of your people?
Mohawk Girls was shot in the Kanawaki Reservation, 40 minutes away from Montreal. This is where Tracy Deer grew up.
We often have visitors come here. I don't know if they expect us to all be walking around in buckskin with feathers and teepees, but that's not how we live in the modern world.
Creating a show about women in her community was important to her.
Please focus on the real problem here.
As a young Mohawk girl, I felt invisible in this country. I like to think that Mohawk Girls is contributing to our young kids not growing up that way. You know, you can turn on a TV now and you can see yourself represented, you can see our issues represented, you can laugh at the jokes.
Hey, Susie.
In this community of 8,000 members, the TV show is gathering more followers daily.
More and more people are reaching out. How can we be part of the show? I want to be an extra, you know, and because we all know each other, they reach out to me. You know, I mean, I'm one of the actors. So it's actually really awesome to be supported in this way.
The success of the show goes beyond the frontiers of the reservation. Last year, Mohawk Girls was nominated for 3 Canadian TV awards.
And that's it for now. And if you'd like to comment on what you've just seen, you can head to our Facebook page. That's France24 51%, or do send us a tweet at _51%. Thanks for your feedback so far, and please do keep those comments coming in. So until our next show, bye for now.